The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten was genuinely and really still is one of my favorite romance animes. But when I watched season 1, it was up there with probably my top 3. And maybe that's a hot take, but I loved season 1 of The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. I thought there was so much good stuff. I thought there was so much amazing things. The kind of build up to them being in a relationship, all those things were so damn good. And a part of me kind of wishes we never got a season 2. Now, I know that's harsh. I know that's hard to say because, frankly, this romance anime is genuinely, like, this season 2 of this romance anime was quite a disappointment. And I honestly saw that quite a bit throughout the season. And for me, I was like, you know what? I want to argue with them and be like, no, it's good. But you kind of can't, because it really was kind of a disappointment with the way things went. But there are a lot of reasons why that's the case. Now, for one, I want to say this. I'm not saying the whole season was absolutely terrible and that there was no bright spots, because there was a couple episodes in the arc of season 2, excuse me. And I was like, you know what? This episode was really good. I like this episode. It was a very solid episode. But there were a lot of episodes that felt like we were running in place. It felt like we had all of that progression in season 1, and season 2 just fell flat on its face. Now, I will admit that if season 1 was a standalone season, I would have probably put this up there with some of the best romance animes I've ever seen. But season 2 does bring it down by a little bit. I mean, the reality is season 2 redid a lot of the tropes that we saw in season 1, but the reality is as well, they just felt like they were overused. I mean, at the end of the day, when you reuse something over and over and over again, the audience is gonna get bored, right? The audience is not going to like it anywhere as much as we did in season 1. I almost, with hindsight, believe that really they should have slowed it the hell down and had, essentially these two not even be together after season 1. And I know it sounds crazy even saying that, because the reality is they probably in their heads weren't even thinking they were going to get green lit for a season 1 or for season 2. So they wanted to make sure that season 1 capped off with essentially them being together or getting together and stuff like that. But it almost felt as if they just didn't have enough more ideas, and they didn't have enough to really push forward anything. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not saying that the show needed drama, right, to make it good, because it didn't, right? It didn't necessarily need this crazy drama, misunderstandings, all this stuff. No, of course not. I'm not even a big fan of stuff like that. But when you reuse the same things that you used in season 1, it becomes very tough. And the biggest thing for me and why it became so stagnant is it felt like in season 1, they were already dating. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to have progression that was quick. I'm saying that we had a lot of moments in season 1 that felt like those moments were meant for when they were dating, right? It felt as if those moments themselves were really good moments, really solid moments and really good for the moment. But it felt as if those moments possibly should have happened when they were already together, right? It felt like there was not much to work through anymore through season 1. It felt as if, okay, yeah, we're in a relationship now and everything's perfect. When in all reality, these two characters do have issues, right? They have issues, and they should have really focused on those issues throughout season 1 and going into season 2. I almost feel as if they should have struggled a lot more with getting into their relationship. It feels like there was nothing for them to build on from season 1. Now, season 1 as a whole, right, as a standalone anime, was a freaking masterpiece. But we did so much in season 1, and this is not a negative towards season 1, but it's a reality towards season 2, is that we did so much in season 1. So many things were covered, so many ideas were crossed that we almost didn't have enough content for season 2. So it essentially felt like the season just grew stagnant, and season 2 just needed to have way bigger romantic milestones. But the thing is, it's hard to make those big romantic milestones when you already jumped so many milestones during the process of time that they weren't even dating, right? It becomes very difficult to try to like really jump those milestones and make it that much better. And let's be honest, a lot of season 2 was teasing and really not enough payoff of really anything. Like, it felt like it was just them like being comfortable with each other, flirting, doing those type of things, and that was about it. Like, that's really all it was. Now, obviously, there was moments with Maharu's, which I'm sorry if I say that wrong, with Sheena. I felt like I just call her Sheena, it'd be easier. With her father, you know, those things. Those were interesting moments, but those were so far and few between that it felt like we should have really delved deeper into some of those things. Like, we should have genuinely delved deeper into some of those ideas. And I'm not saying, like I said before, season 2 wasn't like a dumpster fire. Like, it wasn't absolutely garbage, but there was just so many issues in my book with season 2 that it felt like, yeah, it was a lot of like enjoyability with, you know, oh, it's cute, you know, their romantic like stuff is cute, like, you know, them like, you know, being around each other, doing certain things, you know, like they're progressing as a couple like in small increments. But when you had season 1 where the increments of them growing as a couple, even though they weren't technically together yet, but the increments that were happening were so big and so substantial that it made season 2 look like we really weren't progressing. Like, it really did seem that way, like we weren't progressing that far. And I got to admit, it's just like, it just wasn't the best season 2 we could have gotten. And it sucks because there's a lot of like, you know, people that will like watch a season 1 and be obsessed with the idea that we're getting a season. Oh my God, we're getting a season 2. And I was like that. I was so excited. I was so damn excited. But then I just felt like it didn't go the direction that it could have. Because the reality is, season one's charm, excuse me, oh my goodness, sorry about that, was a lot to do with like the domestic relationship that they had, right? With the cooking, the studying, the hanging out, taking care of each other, and slowly becoming important to one another. Because it kind of was like, you know, she was helping him out initially, just, oh yeah, I'll help you out because, like, you know, you should be eating properly, you should be taking care of yourself. And then slowly but surely they came to rely on each other and came to really understand each other and love each other and stuff like that. And that's what made that season so special. And I felt like season 2 needed to capitalize on that chemistry a lot more than it did. And it kind of fell towards the idea of like, oh yeah, we're cute together. Oh yeah, we like each other, right? I think there are moments though, right? With obviously her dad. There were moments with, you know, the bully. There are moments that I felt like should have been taken a more front stage because those were actual issues. So we have all these things, right? All the good stuff about their relationship. They went through it in season 1. All the good stuff, right? Understanding each other, learning about each other, all that stuff. Now it's time for, I mean, I hate to say it, some drama, but not drama between the two of them, drama dealing with some of the past that they have to deal with, some of the issues that they have, right? Like, I mean, literally, Sheena has dealt with the fact that her family essentially doesn't love her. Like, that would be something that essentially she would have to deal with, right? And deal with that emotionally, deal with all those things. And we got a little bit of that, but I felt like those moments, the moments with the bully, stuff like that should have probably been a lot more of a forefront idea, because now they're trying to figure out how to deal with those issues as a couple and not just being your friend, right? I felt like those moments were probably some of the better moments. And then obviously you add in those cute moments with them together, them, like just your typical romance based cute little moments between each other. You could have added those as well. And then it would have felt at least like a better, more progressive, like in terms of like, progressing through the story type of anime. And it wouldn't have felt as if season 2 was just slow, right? It wouldn't have felt like we didn't really get that much out of season 2, right? It felt more like we were just rehashing everything that we knew that this couple was. It's as if they were telling us like, oh, look, they're so cute together. Hey, look, they're so this together. Oh, look, they love each other. Like, no, you don't need to like shove that in our face. Like, I want to see this through action. I want to see this through like, actually, some serious development. And I felt like even Sheena needed development in herself where now she's understanding that she doesn't have to be this perfect girl that everybody looks at and all this stuff, right? All this nonsense. And we could have explored that vulnerability a lot more, the emotional growth a lot more. A lot of the strong parts that were in season 1 that we were exploring about her personality and insecurities, I felt like we could have made season 2, like it could have made it a lot stronger if we delved even deeper into those things. And I think a lot of us can admit that we wanted more progression, right? After investing in this relationship. But it felt like season 1 almost like pigeonholed them or held them like to where they couldn't really figure out how they wanted to progress, right? It felt like maybe season 1 was too quick and they progressed too fast. But even if they leave it as is, right? Season 1 as it is, because I love season 1. Love it to death. They just needed to do more with season 2, emotionally, diving into both of their emotional psyches, both of like, how are they going to deal with like certain things in their lives together, and so much more. I felt like we could have gotten more out of season 2 of this anime of The Angel Next Door Swallows Me Rotten. And I felt like it had the chance to be like peak, like actual peak. Season 1 obviously was peak. Season 2 could have been just as good. I just feel like they did fall short with some of the ideas that they definitely they definitely needed to kind of wrap up certain ideas better. They needed to really dive into certain things better. And I think overall we wanted progression that we unfortunately just didn't properly get. But overall, I want to make this clear. I'm not saying I hated season 2. I'm honestly probably one of those people that would have given season 2 like a 7 out of 10 or maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. I didn't think it was bad by any means. I just think when you compare it, right, which like the reality is we're going to compare it to season 1. I felt like season 1 was just so much better and did a lot more things correct than season 2 that it just led me to be disappointed. But honestly, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Now, maybe there's some of you that are like, hey, bro, you are wrong. Season 2 is even better than season 1, or season 2 is just as good. But me personally, and a lot of people online that I've seen, especially when season 2 was coming out, they were under the sentiment of like, yeah, this season's all right, but it's just not the level that it should be for how good season 1 was. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Leave, comment down below any ideas that you have about season 2 of The Angel Next Door Swallows Me Rotten. And yeah, I would love to hear your guys' ideas, how you felt about it, what you think about the anime, what you think about the romance anime, all that stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.